Hi, I'm Elad from Synbio Shield, and thank you for joining me on this short video where I'm going to give you a brief introduction into why probiotics are the most revolutionary and important change that has taken place in the cleaning world. Now, before we start, you'll need to familiarize yourselves with two simple terms. Probiotics are good bacteria that provide health benefits to both humans and animals. You've probably heard of them being put into dairy products such as yogurts or maybe even in gut supplements. Very similar, but our probiotic strains are slightly different. A pathogen is an organism that causes disease. Could be a virus, bacteria, fungi, parasites. Now let's start with the problem. Pretty much every person that engages in cleaning activities, whether at work or at home, is constantly trying to kill everything and create bacterial dead zones by applying disinfectants either through manual cleaning or through fogging. Here's what you need to know. Most disinfectants contain chemicals that are harmful to us humans and to our planet. So if we stop for a moment and think about it, filling our indoor environments with such chemicals to try to protect our health isn't really the best idea. Disinfectants are not as effective as most people think, and here's why. You've probably heard of the term superbug at some point, which is a simple way of describing a situation where a pathogen is resistant to the treatment of antibiotics and disinfectants. Now, the European Commission is estimating that within 30 years, more people are going to die from antimicrobial resistance than cancer. This is serious stuff. Now here's a little secret. The vast majority of disinfectants released to the market were never tested against pathogens that carry the resistance genes. And this is kind of like if Tesla were to release an autonomous car that they never tested on a road with vehicles. Now, why am I telling you this? Because resistant pathogens are everywhere. And the more we try to disinfect them, the more likely they are to become resistant over time. And to make things worse, pathogens share their knowledge and DNA with one another. And here's how they do it. So to understand a biofilm, imagine a slimy tent formation that the pathogens build above themselves to protect against disinfectants. You've probably seen in the grouting in your shower what that looks like. Now, disinfectants cannot penetrate these formations, and the pathogens use this safe haven to share their DNA with one another. Now, let's imagine for a minute that there were no biofilm formations and no resistant pathogens. Our ability to sterilize the surface now depends on my ability as a cleaner. So, unless I apply the disinfectant on 100% of the surface, some pathogens are going to survive. And this might sound easy enough to do, but just imagine that you have to clean 100% of your entire office during your cleaning shift. It's impossible. Now, normally, having some pathogens left on the surface is not such a big deal because we have good bacteria to protect the surface against their rapid spread. But when we disinfected, we killed all the good bacteria. So we're now left with a surface with little to no protection, and nothing will stop the pathogens from spreading quickly and in great numbers. But let's stay positive. Let's imagine that there's no biofilm formations, no resistant pathogens, and that we managed to effectively disinfect 100% of the surface. We killed everything. Now, the surface is left vulnerable to whatever lands on it first, whether it's through the air or through touch. My hand is most likely going to contain pathogens, and when I touch that surface, these pathogens are going to multiply and occupy that surface until it's disinfected again, which is most likely going to be in 24 hours. By cleaning with Synbio Shield products, you're filling your spaces with life and installing a healthy microbiome on all surfaces, which helps reduce the risk and spread of pathogens 90% more effectively than disinfectants. So rather than trying to eliminate all microbes, it's more effective to replace the bad ones with the good bacteria, which consume the available nutrients on the surface, and this leads to the starvation and death of pathogens. Now, because our products are symbiotic, they don't only contain probiotics, the good bacteria. They also contain prebiotics, which are sugar-based nutrients that can only be consumed by the good microorganisms. This means that they give enough food for our probiotics that they can survive and continue to clean and protect our surface for 5 days after we've applied them. Our strains of probiotics also weaken and destroy existing biofilm formations and prevent new ones from being formed. And scientific research has shown that by using our strains of probiotics, you are 10,000 times less likely to contract a virus. How amazing is that? Also, remember those superbugs we were talking about earlier? Our probiotic strains have been scientifically proven to reduce the presence of resistant pathogens by 99.99%. Last but not least, our probiotics are not just environmentally friendly, meaning that they don't cause harm to the environment. They're actually earth beneficial because they positively contribute to the water treatment and the maintenance of a natural microflora. They also come in super concentrates, which means they will help you save hundreds of plastic bottles each year.